Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Augusta, Illinois, and Southeastern High Schools. You're watching Adams Fiber coverage of Southeastern Sons Volleyball here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MBH. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Happy to have alongside. Peyton is here as well. We were able to record the senior night activities a few moments ago, and we'll let you watch those as we lead into tonight's contest between two arch rivals, Southeastern and Illini West. It's the Chargers and the Suns, but first, it's senior night here in Southeastern, and this is what it looked like. The audio, not the best, but you'll be able to see all the seniors for both teams. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. National anthem is complete. We are underway with the starting lineups. We'll let you hear those thanks to Mr. Julian. So there you have it, the starting lineups for both teams. Thank you, Mr. Julian, for that as we get ready to go. It's Illini West and Southeastern here, brought to you by Adams Fiber. They bring you all the Southeastern sports all fall and winter and spring long here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Got Peyton on the camera again tonight. He's going to be on the camera for us for basketball, I do believe, as well. As we get ready to go. And it's going to be starting things off at the service line for the Chargers. Number 13, a senior, Corin Robinson, the setter and defensive specialist. Right off the bat, it's a hit by Stevens, dug by Robinson, sent across on a free ball by Robinson. Middle again to Stevens. Right side, that goes off. The Lolero. Can't see what her number is, to be honest with you. And it's a side out on the kill by Stevens. Suns lead 1-0. That's going to be an attack and a kill off the hands of Kennedy Gunning. Back to serve is going to be number 12, Elsie Moore for Illini West. It's 1-1 here early in set number 1. Illini West has beaten the Suns a couple times. Suns have been playing pretty well of late. They did lose to West Prairie the last time we saw them. They've won a couple tournaments since then, though. There's a tack up and off. We'll get it. We'll be right back. As we're back at it here, Suns are up 2-1, make it 2-2. Hey, Mr. 2-2. Couple hitting errors. Gunning, cross court, uses the net to her advantage and gives the Chargers their first lead. She gets her second kill. Back serving, number 4, Carson Bliss. An overpass, and Gunning has something to say to the Suns as she looks right at them. As she was hungry on that one, as Ned Eckert likes to say, feeding the bear, and she was full growl on that one. Drove that one right down inside the 10-foot line. Bliss gets the service point, her first. And it's dug up outside. Off the block and down. That's going to be Kennedy Artman on the kill, I do believe. It is Kennedy Artman. Second service point for Carson Bliss. Stevens, deep left corner, dug back there by Robinson, outside. It's blocked. That was an attack by Wibble. Off the block and down. It's going to be another kill for Artman. Bliss gets her third service point. It's 6-2. Chargers. And trouble on the serve receive. It's going to be sent across, though. Good hand-eye coordination. Sends that across as Robinson. Griswold is there. Middle to Stevens, and she hits that one into the net. Does not get over to hitting air, and it's 7-2. 4 straight for Carson Bliss. 7-2. Suns trail the Chargers, and it's really been all Chargers here early. There's an to the net. It's dug up, but nobody can do anything with it. It's another point and an ace this time. It's 8-2. 5 straight for Carson Bliss. Jason Arthur in the house. Evening, sir. Hope you're doing well. Middle. Stevens is going to get her second Sports Corner kill. Well, it'll be auto sales kill, I should say, here in Southeastern. Just side out, and Stevens will come back to serve. Her team down 8-3. Dug up by Robinson outside. That was Wibble. Stevens sets to Griswold. Off the net and drops in. Kenzie Griswold gets the kill, her first. Stevens gets her first service point. It's 8-4. Robinson again, bump set. Out to Artman, dug up. Out to Rigg, tips across, short, dug up. Bliss sets out to Artman, who tips it over the block and down. Side out. Artman gets her third kill. Back to serve is going to be number 1, Olivia Frazier. Frazier back to serve now for the Chargers, up 5, 9-4 here in set number 1. Still a long way to go for both teams. Riley Hart in the game as well. Griswold on the bump set from Hart is going to get the LB Auto Sales kill. Riley Hart in the killing department now. She's got her first. And Rigg is back to serve with her team down by 4. Quick, punched across and dropped down. I don't know that must not have got over. Couldn't really tell if Griswold had a block or not. I'm going to say no. Rigg gets the point nonetheless. Her first. We have free ball. Rigg is there. Stevens out to Griswold. Down it goes. Kenzie Griswold gets her second kill, and it's 9-7. Rigg gets her second service point in a row. To the net, pushed outside in a hurry. Wibble is there. Middle, Wilcox set a little too high, couldn't get to it, and it's a side out. 10-7 to score. Ava Halls, number 2, I believe, is the libero. No, Ava Shutwell, excuse me, number 8. Outside, left side, nice dig in the back row by Bliss. Tipped down by Pendle. It's going to be hit across. Outside it comes. Good job by Artman to stay out of the net. Here's Griswold from the left side off the block. Dug up in the back row. Quick set to the middle. And that is number 9, Anna Jacob, the junior middle hitter, getting the kill. And Shutwell is going to get the service point, and after all that, it's 11-7. Rigg, Stevens to Griswold, off the block, dug up one-handed. Great job to go get it, and a free ball comes across by Jacob. Tipped across by Griswold. Outside to Artman, and she missed it. Kind of got a little bit of it to hit it into the net, but that's about it. A hitting error, and it's side out. Coming back into the game, she'll be the setter. Will be Jalen Van Beck for the Suns, down by 3 at 11-8. Hop in that live chat. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. Love to see all you folks in there. Tipped across by Artman. Going to come back across. She goes to get it. Jacob sends it across. Van Beck outside to Griswold. Blocked. Outside to Griswold again. That time it got the net, but they didn't call it. Tipped right side. It was out of bounds, but going to get it was Artman. Back row, Bliss. Stevens back row now. Dug over there by Frazier, and that's inbounds, I do believe. Yes, it was. Artman drops it in. And she'll go back to serve. Artman has 4 kills now. 12-8 the score. Starks. Rigg. Stevens from the back row. Blocked and down by Anna Jacob. Her first block. It's the first block of the kill variety of the game. And Artman gets her first service point. Outside, Griswold off the block, tipped up. Shutwell's there, outside. It's going to be pushed across by Bliss. Van Beck back to Griswold, into the net, dug up. Outside Griswold again, tipped across this time. Dug up by Bliss, back set to Pendle. Man, somebody was in the net major. I think it was Wilcoxon, no call. Deep right corner, dug by Shutwell. Bliss on the quick, couldn't get up to hit it, so she's just going to send it across. Now outside to Griswold again. It's blocked again. Dug up by Frazier. Here's Shutwell, the bump set. Out to Pendle. Pendle dug by Starks. Bumped up by Wilcox. Hit by Griswold. And finally, another long rally. This one ending in the favor of the Southeastern Suns, and Griswold gets her 3rd kill. And Kenzie Griswold will come back to serve now. She has not scored a service point. Her team is down 13-9. Back row, Bliss. It went outside the pole. And it is a point for Griswold and the Suns. Kenzie Griswold gets her first service point. Shutwell. Bliss. Couldn't get that set high enough for Pendle to do anything with, and it's another point for Griswold and the Suns. Back to a 2-point game, 13-11. Griswold to serve it again. Bliss sets middle. Jacob gets the kill, and a Jacob another kill, and it's 14-11. That's the second kill for Jacob to go with her one block. Coming in to serve and set, I would imagine, is going to be number 13, Corin Robinson. Hop in the live chat. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. Share it with your friends. Let them know that you're going to be here to watch the game. That's blocked. Big block by Gunning. Gunning blocked it again, but that time Kara Stevens was able to use the block and drive it down. Stevens gets her third kill, and it's a side out. Back to serve is going to be Morgan Wilcox. Morgan Wilcox serving things up for the Suns now. To the net, a nice pass, and then a nice set and a quick. Down it goes off the hand of Kennedy Gunning, who is much improved from the beginning of the year. She is really playing out right now, and it's going to be going back to serve number 12, Elsie Moore. Elise Moore. I'm not sure which way to pronounce that. If somebody that's watching can tell me if it's Elise or Elsie. Middle, Stevens, I know how to pronounce that, and that is inbounds, just barely, but it was inbounds. It might have caught the backside of the line, actually, in all honesty. And Starks is going to come back to serve now. Adriana Starks, one of the seniors playing tonight for the Suns. Her team's down by 2. Sailed that one way too long, and it's out of bounds. 16-13 on the service there. Going back to serve is going to be, I believe, Carson Bliss. Yes, it is. Let's serve drops for an ace. Bliss has 6 service points in set 1, 2 aces. She likes to drop it short, and she's used the net a couple times. Van Beck, as Wilcox and Starks are hidden in the back on serve receive. Van Beck the only one at the front, and that one goes down and in. A nice set and a nice location by Kara Stevens to get the side out, and she'll come back to serve. 4th kill as she is 2 kills each trip through the front line, but her team trails by 3, 17-14. She's got 4 kills. Kenzie Griswold 3 and Hart 1, and that's it for the Suns. Here is Wibble, dug up. Rigg punched across. Kennedy Gunning is there. Outside it's going to go to Artman. Artman is dug by Wilcox. Now to Rigg. Blocked and down. That's going to be Kennedy Gunning. She was the only one there to block, so I want to give it to her. Wibble was out there, but I don't think she was up in a block position. Kennedy Gunning's going to get the block. And a side out. It's back to a 4-point game, 18-14. Frazier back in to serve for the Chargers. She hops it up, throws it over. Here's the middle. Nope, it's going to go to Griswold on the tip, and it'll go down. Griswold is going to get another kill and a side out for the Suns. She's got 4 kills now. Tegan Rigg back to serve for Southeastern. Vanessa says, let's go, Suns. Thanks for joining us. Haven't seen that name for a while, so happy to have you with us. And there is Bliss from the back row with the kill. Carson Bliss gets her first kill. It came from the back row. Shutwell back to serve now with her team up by 4, 19-15. Nice attack and a nice dig by Shutwell. Off the block and down, Anna Jacob is going to get another kill. Timeout charge to Southeastern. Anna Jacob now, number 9, is up to 3 kills. It's a 20-15 game as we work through set number 1. Once again, thanks for joining us. We're happy to have you here tonight. 20-15 at senior night at Southeastern. The 2A Chargers and the 1A Suns doing battle here. A huge rivalry each and every year. And let's see there, Tegan Rigg having a conversation. I guess it's just off the camera left with Coach Kerr. Shutwell to serve it up again. I did not give Shutwell her point. Give it to her there. Griswold out of bounds, trying to go down the line and sailed it too long. Shutwell is up to 3 service points now unofficially. 21-15. And a service there as Shutwell tried to go from the left side all the way across to the right. Didn't get over the net. Side out, and Jalen Van Beck back in to serve. She is the setter for 4 rotations. And there's a big hit by Jacob, but dug by Stevens. Tipped back across by Jacob. Pushed across by Griswold. Pumped up by Shutwell. Now it's going to come to Artman. Artman let it get by her a little bit. That was not an ideal set to hit by any stretch of the imagination. She tried to do it and just couldn't quite get it up over the net. Van Beck gets her first service point. 21-17 the score. Quick middle, Jacob. Dug up by Rigg. Bump set Starks. Pushed across by Wilcox. Shutwell is there. Frazier to Artman. It's dug up. Out of system. Griswold on the attack. That did not get touched. That should have been 4 hits, but they didn't call it. Bump set, Artman. Stevens. Van Beck a bump set. Griswold sends it deep and out. 22-17. Back serving is Kennedy Artman. She is a junior. She's got 4 kills. A let serve dug by Van Beck. Stevens a bump set. Griswold. Set out to Pendle. She's dug up by Van Beck. Now out to Griswold again. Off the block. Dug up. Dug up again. And not going to get it across. 22-18. Griswold coming back to serve now. And that's blocked. Middle, Stevens drives it down and a kill. Kara Stevens gets her 5th kill. Griswold gets the service point. For Griswold, it's her 3rd. It's 22-19. Just barely gets it across. It's going to end up being an ace. Got touched a second time, but I'm going to give her an ace either way. It's 22-20. Griswold serves it again. This time short middle. Shutwell's there. Middle set Jacob. And she just kind of throws it down. Cross body. It's touched, and Jacob is going to get another kill. Makes it 23-20. And Anna Jacob up to 4 kills now. Into serve for Jacob is Corinne Robinson. Corinne Robinson. Rigg, middle. Stevens. Dug, punched across and down. Kennedy Gunning just stuck an arm out there, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And that time she's put her hands over her mouth. I'm not going to give that one a kill. That was a free ball, but Robinson will get the service point. That's her first. Rigg, it's set point. Stevens off of Shutwell. Nice pass. Dug up one-handed by Wilcox. Bump set. Wilcox going to send it across. Bliss is there. Middle. Gunning finds the dead spot, and Gunning is going to get another tip kill. And it's 25-20. Kennedy Gunning gets her 5th kill of the set. And the Chargers get a 25-20 victory in set number 1. We'll take a break. We'll come back. You're watching Adams Fiber coverage of Southeastern Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
Whether it's an emergency situation or an outpatient scan, McDonough District Hospital's radiology department offers the test you need right here in Macomb. If you need an MRI, a CT scan, ultrasound, x-ray, a bone density scan, or to schedule an annual mammogram, our experienced radiology staff will provide high-quality, compassionate care. McDonough District Hospital, your community radiology, growing our legacy one patient at a time.
My name is Kelsey Cunningham. I'm a nurse practitioner with the cardiology department here at McDonough District Hospital. Cardiology is like a big puzzle. A lot of things can be traced back to the heart, and to see somebody in your office at the beginning of the process really down on themselves and, not feeling like their best self, and I think in their mind never really thinking that they're going to recover from that, to fast forward 6 months where they're back doing things they want goal, and I love to see it happen.
I'm Lindsay Schaefer. I'm a physical therapist specializing in pelvic floor physical therapy here at McDonough District Hospital Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation. Young women, a lot of them have pelvic pain. They don't realize that it's something that they don't have to live with anymore. It's very common for people to have urinary leakage. And I always say it's common, but it's not normal. It's not something you need to live with. I also focus on hip pain, back pain. It's all kind of connected. Any age really can benefit from it.
Every McDonough District Hospital sports medicine and rehabilitation patient receives one-on-one appointment times with a licensed staff member. They develop a personalized recovery and treatment plan to turn your setback into a comeback. We offer physical and occupational therapy, vestibular rehabilitation, speech-language pathology, cardiac and pulmonary rehabilitation, dry needling, and pelvic floor therapy. MDH, your community physical therapy partner, growing our...
Set number 2 coming at you. 25-20, as you can see, was the score in set number 1. That's going to be tipped down the line, and another kill for Kennedy Gunning. We'll reset the scoreboard here. Give the Chargers a set 1 win. Give the Chargers the first point of set 2. Coming back to serve, going to be number 12, Elsie Moore. Gunning gets her 6th kill. Stevens. Van Beck, Stevens off the block, and down it goes. Kara Stevens gets her 6th kill. Morgan Wilcox back to serve now with the score tied at 1. Off the block and down. Kennedy Gunning, a 7th kill now. And another side out. Back to the Chargers. And back to serve is Carson Bliss. And Beck tracks that one down. Stark sends it across. Robinson sets it. That's going to be a net violation on the Chargers, and it's sending it right back to the Suns. So we remain on serve here. Adriana Starks back to serve now. If you're watching, if you're a tennis fan, on serve, no advantage as of yet for either team. That's off the block and down. That's going to be Wibble on the kill. Natalie Wibble is going to get her first kill, the senior right side hitter, and it's a side out to the Chargers. Jacob back in, Frazier back in, Olivia Frazier back to serve, the junior setter defensive specialist for the Chargers. She's going to go right side to Stevens. Back to Stevens on the set. Outside. That is Natalie Wibble again. And that's going to be Stevens driving that one home. And back on serve we go. Van Beck comes out, Hart comes in, Stevens comes back to serve. 3-3 the score. Dug by Artman. Back set back to Artman from the right side. It's off the block, dug up. Stevens tracks down the bump set. Griswold sends it deep corner. It's dug up back there by Robinson, hit across by Wibble. Dug in the back row back there by Frazier on a hit by Griswold. That was Wibble sending it across. Now it's going to go out to Rigg. Rigg's going to bang it off the block of Artman and out of bounds. And for the first time, advantage Suns here in set number 2, 4-3. Man, the Chargers changed their lineup so much. Wibble's on the left now. Artman's on the right. Artman spends a lot of time on the left. Wibble spends a lot of time on the right. There's a block by Griswold and a kill. Kinsey Griswold gets the first block of the night for the Suns. And Stevens gets her second service point in a row. It's 5-3. Quick. That's going to be Natalie Wibble on the kill. Down the line. In the deep left corner, and it'll be a side out. Shutwell back to serve. It'll be Bliss and Frazier in a back row. Wibble going to the right side. Artman coming to the left this time, it looks like. No, it's Pendle going right. Artman coming left. Free ball sent across by Griswold. Jacob tips it across, and then it comes down. Anna Jacob, another kill, her 5th. It's tied 5-5. Ava Shutwell gets her 4th service point. 5-5 the score. I promise, the scoreboard not keeping up. There it is. Starks, Stevens, out to Griswold, down the line. It's dug up by Frazier, I believe that is over there. It was. Now Stevens to Griswold in the middle. Wilcox is in the back row. Sent across, bump set. Riggs going to send it across, blocked down, pushed across by Griswold. And that ball never got hit 4 times, never left 6 inches from the net. Here is Stevens to Griswold. Off the block and down it goes. Kenzie Griswold gets another kill and a side out for the Suns. Griswold up to 5 kills now. Back to serve will be Tegan Rigg. Rigg serve. Low and an ace. The first one of the night for Rigg as Bliss couldn't handle that one. Tegan Rigg gets her 3rd service point, 1st ace. It's 7-5 Suns. That's a low serve into the nets. 7-6 on a service error. JV contest 25-17, 20-25, 25-12. The Southeastern Suns got the JV win. So we have the precedence on the evening already for a 3-set night. We'll see if the Chargers can prevent that from happening here. They're down by 1 in set number 2. Griswold missed all the hands and knocked it out of bounds. We're tied at 7. Kennedy Artman gets the service point, her 2nd. Starks with the serve receive. Stevens tracks it down. Kenzie Griswold sends it across. Dug up, one-hand set, pushed across by Shutwell. Rigg, Stevens out to Griswold, who hangs and drops it in. Side out again as Griswold gets her 6th kill, and Van Beck will be back to serve. Griswold will come next for the Suns in rotation. Jalen Van Beck, she'll be setting now. And a swing and a miss for Pendle. It's 2-point lead again for the Suns as Jalen Van Beck gets her 2nd service point. Frazier. Stevens on the dig. Starks about knocked Van Beck out. Back set. Pendle. Stevens tracks down to pass. Wilcox sends it across. Artman's there. Middle. And that was wanted a quick for Jacob. She set it too high, and Jacob jumped short and couldn't hang with it. It's 10-7. Van Beck gets her 2nd straight service point. Coach Kerr having a little fun with her, talking to her as she comes back to serve again right in front of us. Drops that one short to Shotwell. Quick to Jacob, who just kind of hands up and throws it across. And she's going to end up getting the kill. Anna Jacob with her 6th kill. 2nd highest on the team. Corin Robinson checks in. Frazier checks out. Jacob checks out. Into the front row is Kennedy Gunning for Frazier. Robinson for Jacob. Griswold blocked. Pushed it right back across. Shutwell is there. Outside it is Bliss. Punched up. Blocked down by Wilcox, a good block. Now it's Pendle on the attack, and that never got over the nets. A side out on the hitting error to the Suns, and Kenzie Griswold goes back to serve with her team up by 3 here in set number 2. Nice serve. It's dug up by Shutwell. Now outside to Bliss, cross court, and Wilcox can't handle it. Carson Bliss gets the kill and the side out. Bliss has 6 service points, including 2 aces and 2 kills now. And back to serve is going to be Elsie Moore. number 12 for the Chargers. She's not got a service point yet. Good time to get one if you're a Chargers fan right here. She's going to go right side to Stevens. Van Beck back to Stevens. She goes cross court and in. Keeps it right on the line. Side out. Kill number 8 for Kara Stevens. Morgan Wilcox back to serve now with her team still up by 3. Back and forth we've went here. Not a whole lot of offense. It's been a lot of defense. Side out galore here. Gunning continues the theme as Kennedy Gunning gets the side out and the kill. For Gunning, that's her 8th kill. Stevens, Van Beck, Stevens. Dug in the back row by Robinson. It hits the ceiling. Good job to hustle over after it. And then one-handed push across by Gunning. Now a big hit. And it's going to be pushed back across. Now Stevens going to tip that one. Coming in to get the dig was Artman. Now it's going to be Griswold pumped up, pushed back deep. And it's going to be trouble again. Another free ball coming. It is not going to stay in, though. Man, what hustle by the Chargers. Sadly for them, it went for naught in the end. But man, oh man, a good job to get a couple rallies across, get the ball over, keep it alive, but just could not sustain. And it's going to be at Adriana Starks serving. Now it's going to be Artman on the attack. It's off the net. Doug. And miscommunication as they're out of system. And it's back to the Chargers, down by 2 at 13-11. Frazier back in, Jacob back in. Robinson sits, Gunning sits. And here we go with Frazier serving. Frazier's not had a service point yet tonight. 13-11, Griswold. Van Beck, Stevens, right into the mug of Moore, and it's going to be another kill for Kara Stevens, unofficially her 9th, but she's back to the back row now with her team up by 3, 14-11. Deep, dug by Moore, outside, Wibble, dug up by Hart, went across, back set, blocked down by Griswold. That was Artman on the attack. Griswold's going to get her 2nd kill. Stevens gets her 4th service point, and timeout charged to the Chargers. Suns up by 4, 15-11. This game being brought to you by Adams Experts. Looking for top-notch local computer sales and repair services? Call Adams Experts in Quincy at 217-214-3423 for fast, friendly, and affordable assistance. We make technology work. That's Adams Experts, your go-to when your computer goes down. And Ron Elby Auto Sales with locations in Macomb and Augusta. With 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.ronlb.com to check out their inventory. And after the timeout, it's 15-11. Kara Stevens has served a couple straight now, and she is back to serve it up again. Deep right serve. It goes at Moore again. Now it's middle to Jacob. She tips it across, punched right back across by Riley Hart. Riley Hart gets the block to go along with her 1 kill so far. As Hart gets the block, Stevens gets the point, her 5th, and the Suns are up by 5. Kara Stevens. Again Moore. Outside. Bliss. Stevens. Hart tried to just punch it across, didn't get the job done. It's going to be 4 hits and a side out. 16-12 the score. Starks tracks it down. Coming into the front row, a new face is going to be number 2, Ava Halls. Shutwell goes back to serve. Shutwell, Starks, out to Griswold. Through the block and down it goes. Kinsey Griswold gets another kill. Her 7th. Tegan Rigg back to serve now with her team up by 5. Low hard serve. Shutwell is there to the net. Back. Artman dropped it in a little short. Stevens come diving in for it. Couldn't get on it. Artman gets her first kill since early or late in set 1. She's up to 5. She goes back to serve now. Has not been nearly as successful in set 2. Wilcox out to Griswold down the line. Frazier can't handle it. It's another kill for Kinsey Griswold. She's up to 8 to lead the team. Jalen Van Beck back to serve now. Still a 5-point lead for Southeastern. You had heard somebody in. Shutwell took it at the very last second. Rigg, Van Beck, Griswold tip across. Dug up by Bliss. Middle to Jacob, drives down. Overpass by Rigg. Bump set, back row attack Bliss. Dug by Rigg again. Another overpass. Frazier outside. Bliss dug up by Van Beck. Starks, middle. Wilcox tipped across. Dug up. Here's Frazier with the set. Tipped and 4 hits. I don't know if that was supposed to be a set to Bliss or to Jacob, and I don't think either one of them knew which one it was supposed to be to. Van Beck gets a long last service point there, her 4th, and it's the largest lead of the set so far for the Suns at 6. To the net, tipped down. Starks out of self-defense gets that one. Griswold sends a free ball across. Middle, Jacob, blocked by Wilcox, pushed up. Van Beck with a bump set. Wilcox going to send a free ball across. Now outside, Pendle. Starks a set now. It's going to be Griswold. Outside, Bliss coming back across. Stevens is there. Now to Griswold. She's going to throw it down and throw it up, and it's going to be a free ball back across after it nearly hit the net and came over. Van Beck outside, Griswold. Dug in the back row by Artman. Dug up by Frazier. What a bump set. Bliss had it. It's going to be dumped across by Van Beck. Another overpass. Here comes Van Beck. Outside Griswold. It's blocked. Tipped up. Keep it alive. Shutwell to the net. Out of bounds. It was Bliss on the attack. But, man, what a rally that one was. It's 20-13. Van Beck gets another service point, her 5th. Deep Shutwell. That's Bliss. Back row attack by Artman. Gets the kill. Kennedy Artman hasn't had a lot of success from the front row here in set 2, but finds her second kill of the set in the back row. More importantly, a side out for the Chargers, and going back to serve is Corn Robinson. That means Gunning is back in the front row for the Chargers. 20-14, Suns have to win set 2 for a chance to win. They lost set 1, and Griswold got a little underneath that one and sent it out the back. It's 20-15. Outside, Griswold into the block. It's dug up. Robinson sends it across deep. Rigg is there. Van Beck to Wilcox. Blocked. Wilcox digs it up. Van Beck out to Griswold. Blocked off the block, and down it goes. Kinsey Griswold, another kill. Her 9th, and a side out back to the Suns. And Griswold back to serve now with her team up by 6. Dug into Bliss, now to Gunning, blocked and off of Van Beck. Kennedy Gunning has really came to fire tonight. Man, she is rocketing the ball. That time it went right through the block. Back to serve is going to be more for the Chargers. Rigg struggles. Stevens comes down with it. Rigg's going to send a free ball across. Good placement, but a nice pass. Gunning now is going to throw it right onto the line. And a kill. And, man, some of those really do look like throws. But Gunning gets the kill, and both teams have been doing it. It's not like it's just the Chargers. I don't mean that. It's just I really expected a lot of those to be called as illegal hits this year. Stevens off the net and out of bounds. That got touched. Okay, Stevens is going to get the kill. I did not think it got cut. She's got 10 kills now. Wilcox serving. 22-17. Gunning, dug by Van Beck. Bump set, Stevens. Crossed, it comes. It's dug by Robinson. Bump set out to Bliss from the right side. It's going to block out of bounds. Bliss is going to get the kill. That'll be her third. 22-18. The scoreboard is not keeping up with me. There we go. Bliss serving now. Stevens. Van Beck. Stevens drives that one down in front of Moore. It's 23-18. 11 kills for Stevens. Starks back to serve now. Shorts coming up to get it was Robinson. Pushed across, dug up by Van Beck. Starks tracks it down. Rigg dug in the back row by Moore. Now to Gunning, blocked by Stevens. Back set, Wibble. And she's just going to take a little off of that and drop it right in front of a diving Starks. Wibble is going to go for kill number 3. 5 attackers with 3 or more kills. Frazier back in for the Chargers. Most of the power coming from 2 is not unusual for the Southeastern. 9 kills for Griswold, 11 for Stevens. Now back to Stevens is going to go, and she's going to drive it off of Moore. Going to track down by Artman, hit across by Wibble. Middle to Stevens. Crossed it goes and down. Set point for Southeastern. 12 kills for Stevens. And she'll come back to serve. She's got 5 service points, tied for the team lead. Here as the Suns will have 5 set points. First one. Set middle, and again, a little miscommunication between Frazier and Jacob. And it's going to be a point for Stevens, a point for the Suns, and it's 25-19. The Suns get a set 2 win. We're going 3 at the varsity level as well. You're watching Adams Fiber coverage of Southeastern Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
My name is Kelsey Cunningham. I'm a nurse practitioner with the cardiology department here at McDonough District Hospital. Cardiology is like a big puzzle. A lot of things can be traced back to the heart, and to see somebody in your office at the beginning of the process really down on themselves and, not feeling like their best self, and I think in their mind never really thinking that they're going to recover from that, to fast forward 6 months where they're back doing things they once did. It's the ultimate goal, and I love to see it happen.
I'm Lindsay Schaefer. I'm a physical therapist specializing in pelvic floor physical therapy here at McDonough District Hospital Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation. Young women, a lot of them have pelvic pain. They don't realize that it's something that they don't have to live with anymore. It's very common for people to have urinary leakage. And I always say it's common, but it's not normal. It's not something you need to live with. I also focus on hip pain, back pain. It's all kind of connected. Any age really can benefit from it.
Every McDonough District Hospital sports medicine and rehabilitation patient receives one-on-one appointment times with a licensed staff member. They develop a personalized recovery and treatment plan to turn your setback into a comeback. We offer physical and occupational therapy, vestibular rehabilitation, speech-language pathology, cardiac and pulmonary rehabilitation, dry needling, and pelvic floor therapy. MDH, your community physical therapy partner, growing our legacy one patient at a time.
I think the rewarding parts of my job are seeing people over time and getting to know them and getting to know their families. And that's very exciting to see them and get them better over time, especially if I'm able to find out something that other places haven't. And that's kind of what drew me to family medicine. I try to get along with people and treat them as I would my family. Do what we can to get the patients taken care of day in and day out. It's pretty supportive. I'm Dr. Michael Waters. I'm a family physician here at the McDonough District Hospital Family Clinic.
And welcome back as we get ready to go to set number 3. As you can see, it was the Suns 25-19 in set number 2. So we're going to overtime, so to speak. Going 3 anyway. We'll see if it goes to overtime. Wibble goes out. Shutwell comes in. Back to serve. Looks like it is Corin Robinson. So the set that the Chargers served first is the set they won. So they wanted to serve first. An overpass, and then Stevens takes a little chapter out of the I'm hungry and let's eat category and drives that one home. And it's going to be a side out and a point for Southeastern. Back to serve will be Morgan Wilcox. Trouble, but tracking it down, making a good pass. Blocked, dug up by Starks. That was Gunning on the attack. Back set across by Stevens. Tip to Gunning. And Gunning is going to get another kill. Kennedy Gunning evens the score at 1. She has 11 of her own kills. So we've got a 13 and a 9 on Southeastern, and 11 and 2 6s on Illini West. Stevens hard off of Corin Robinson. Nothing she could do. Drove that right off her shoulder. And Kara Stevens is going to get her 14th kill. And more importantly, a side out for Southeastern. Starks back to serve now. Deep. It's going to have to be taken. Gunning tries to push that down. Rigg was going to be there anyway. It's a hitting error. And advantage to the Suns now as Starks gets the service point. 3-1 Southeastern. Short. Back set. Bliss blocked by Stevens. Back set on the bump set to Wibble. Now it's going to be Van Beck. Middle to Stevens. Tips it across. What a dig come flying in there to hit the post. But man, oh why. Was that Frazier that came diving in there? No, it was Bliss. Man, what an attempt at a saving dig by Bliss. But she comes up a little too long on it. Stark serves it up again. That's Moore outside. Bliss on the attack. Tipped it across and drops it in as Stevens comes flying from the middle to the left, and her momentum just would not let her get back to it. Side out on the kill by Carson Bliss. And Bliss now back to serve. She's a leading server, and as I said that, she serves it into the net, a service error, and it comes right back to the Suns. Back to serve is going to be Kara Stevens. Keith Yex standing right in front of us now, taking some photos. Probably seen him on the camera in the background here tonight for the Hancock County Journal-Pilot. There's Artman driving it down. Starks is going to go to it. Riley Hart can't do anything with it. And it's going to be a side out, 5-3. Frazier back to serve. Jacob is back in. In the front row is Artman, Wibble, I believe. Yep, and Jacob. And in the back row, it's Moore, Bliss, and Frazier. Stevens to Griswold off the block, and nobody can do anything with it. Kenzie Griswold is going to get her 10th block kill. And a side out. 6-3 the score. Rigg back to serve now for Southeastern. Up by 3. Artman now middle to Jacob, and nobody to do anything with that one as Anna Jacob gets her 7th kill. Pendle back in. Artman is in. Back to serve is Shutwell. And Starks and Rigg have a little trouble there. It's going to be a free ball. Outside, not a good set. Not going to be able to get it. Artman was coming to it. She made a good effort just to get back to be able to do something with it, but she couldn't get it across the net. 7-4. Van Beck into serve for the Suns. Still up by 3. Shutwell on a serve receive. Quick to Jacob. Outside Griswold, down the line and just barely out, trying to paint the line, and she couldn't stay inside. It's a hitting error for Southeastern and a point for Illini West. Kennedy Artman back to serve now. She's one of a couple players with 6 or more kills. One of 3, actually, for the Chargers. And then Griswold is going to get Bliss to raise a hand and touch the ball, and she's going to get another kill. That's 11 for Griswold. Griswold comes to the back row. Stevens goes back to the front row. Van Beck is still serving or setting for the Suns. Quick middle. Jacob gets another kill. Side out. Anna Jacob up to 8 kills. Kylie Putnam leaving the bench for a moment. Robinson. Stevens off the block. It's dug up by the aforementioned Robinson. Bliss makes it usable. Robinson sends it across. Van Beck. Stevens off the net. Dug up by Robinson again. A bump set by Shutwell. Out to Bliss. Dug by Wilcox. Bump set by Griswold. Pushed across by Wilcox. Here's Robinson to Gunning. Pushed right back. Dug up by Wilcox. Free ball sent across by Starks. Shutwell's there. Here's a quick to Gunning. Tipped across. Starks is there. Van Beck out to Wilcox. Down. No, it's dug up. That was Shutwell coming in. Now here's a good set and a kill for Kara Stevens. Her 15th of the night. Wilcox back to serve. Still a 3-point lead. We've stayed at this back and forth range for quite some time. Drop that one short. Going to be Pendle sending it across. Van Beck's there. Starks to Stevens. Down it goes. And it's a 4-point lead for Kara Stevens. Timeout, Illini West. This game being brought to you by McDonough District Hospital. Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation provides patients of all ages with exceptional care in 4 convenient locations, 2 in Macomb, 1 in Bushnell, 1 in Monmouth. Learn more about physical and occupational therapy, vestibular rehabilitation, speech-language pathology, cardiac and pulmonary rehabilitation, dry needling, athletic training, and our newest offering, pelvic floor therapy at MDH.org. MDH, your community physical therapy partner, growing our legacy one patient at a time. And M&B Furniture. M&B Furniture, Bushnell's only furniture store. M&B Furniture is a mainstay in the community and offers free delivery within 40 miles for everything you need to furnish a new home and replenish an old one. Stop and see the fine folks at 41 West Main Street in Bushnell, or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or on the web at www.m&bfurnitureinc. You can call them at 772-2111. That's a 309 area code. Wilcox back to serve it up again. Middle, Stevens, down it goes. And that might have been a headshot, unfortunately. Morgan Wilcox gets her second service point. And it's 11-6. Wilcox back to serve. Shutwell, middle, Gunning. Kennedy Gunning driving that one home. She's one of the seniors. She's got 12 kills. And it's 11-7 on the side out. So a 4-point advantage now for Southeastern. Moore back to serve. It's Wibble at the offensive left, Gunning in the middle, and Bliss on the right. And that's going to be a quick to Stevens, and she's going to get another kill. Make it 17. Starks back to serve. Hit it one too many times. It's 12-7. Back set, Bliss off the block of Stevens, and down it goes. Carson Bliss is going to get the kill. She's got 5 now. So a 5, 6, 8, and 12 kills for Bliss, Artman, Jacob, and Gunning in that order. Now the serve by Bliss. It's dug up after the attack. Artman hits that one out of bounds. Oh, they're going to call a replay. Yeah, they're going to call a replay. I thought that was out, so no point. 12-9. It's not 12-9. It should be 12-8. That wasn't a point. But they're going to leave it up. We'll see if they correct it. Gunning knocks that one down. It is 12-9 now. They did leave it. Bliss got the service point that time. She's up to 7. Stevens off the block, dug up by Bliss. Quick to Gunning, dumped down, drumped up. Starks tries to give it a whirl and get it across, can't do it. It's 12-10. Bliss gets her 8th service point. Rigg, Van Beck, Stevens blocked, and a kill block for Gunning, her 2nd. And it's 12-11. What was a 4-point lead has become 1. Bliss, 9 service points now. Rigg, Van Beck, Stevens, dug in the back row by Robinson. Gunning throws it down. Bump set. Rigg, who has not got a kill yet, sent that one long. Nope, it's going to be in. Look long from back here. We can't see the line at all. We just have to kind of judge on depth. Rigg is going to get her first kill. Tegan Rigg gets the kill. Kara Stevens back to serve with her team up by 2 now. Middle, Gunning, in. No question about that one. Kennedy Gunning has 14 kills of her own. 13-12. We're exactly halfway through set number 2 if everybody scores 25, or set number 3, excuse me. And there's Frazier with a service there. It couldn't have come at a more inopportune time. Rigg back to serve for Southeastern, still the 2-point lead. That's low, that's a service error. 14-13. Shutwell going back to serve. Moore coming out, Pendle coming in. Shutwell back to serve. Shutwell has 4 service points of her own tonight. There's Wilcox, Stevens, Griswold, tips it across, punched up, dug by Shutwell. That's 3, they had to go get it. Rigg tracks it down. Starks sends it as hard as she could, trying to do something with it. And it's going to be a tie ball game, 14-14. Shutwell gets her 5th service point. Right side to Wilcox. Stevens, Griswold. Frazier, bump set. Artman didn't get over the net. Back to a 1-point advantage for Southeastern. Van Beck coming back in to serve for Southeastern. Van Beck has 5 service points. Shutwell. Frazier. Jacob, dug by Starks, bump set by Wilcox. Pushed across softly by Griswold, off the block, tons of time. Rigg is there. Outside Griswold, off the block, it's going to fall. Griswold gets another kill, and Southeastern back up by 2. 12 for Griswold. Outside, Pendle. Griswold. Shutwell comes in to get it. Middle. No back row attack. Starks. Griswold. Bliss. Back row. Pendle. Rigg is there. Van Beck to Griswold. Out of bounds. Southeastern wanted a touch. They're not going to get it. Side out on the hitting error. Kennedy Artman back to serve. 16-15. Southeastern. Starks. Griswold through the block and a whole lift. As Anna Jacob got a hand on it, couldn't do anything with it. Griswold gets her 13th kill. Griswold back to serve, up by 2. Shutwell. Bliss. Starks sends it across, free ball. Oh, that was ugly. But there's no illegal hits called very often on the first hit. Jacob's going to get the kill there. But that is what volleyball is today, folks. Can't really complain about it. They let that go most of the time. But Those are sure not pretty. Back when I first started covering volleyball, that would have been a double hit or an illegal hit for sure. Robinson back to serve. Outside, Stevens off the block, dug up by Starks. Bump set. Stevens going to push it across. Robinson is there. Shutwell a bump set. Bliss. Rigg. Van Beck. Stevens off the block. Dug by Artman. Gunning. Starks. Van Beck. Stevens. Dug by Shutwell. Hard off the glass. Dug up. It was, who was that over there? Can't see. It's going to keep it going. Here comes Stevens again. It was Robinson. Robinson there now. Shutwell a bump set. Pendle's going to send a free ball across. Rigg. Quick to Stevens. Down it goes. Kara Stevens gets the point. Her 18th. And it's 18-16. Morgan Wilcox back to serve now on the side out. Second night in a row in a 3-set match. We've seen somebody here on TSSR get 18 kills. Lily Higgins did it for West Central last night. There's Gunning trying to drop it short. Here's Stevens. What a dig by Shutwell. Bliss sends it across. Again to Stevens. This time it's left, and it's off the touch and down. Kara Stevens, 19 kills, and her team is up by 3. Timeout number 2 of the set called on by the Chargers. This game being brought to you tonight by Sports Corner at 124, Macomb's original local sports bar. Sports Corner at 124. With a focus on local sports, catch WIU games and most of these TSSR Game Time live broadcasts at Sports Corner at 124. All while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. They have trivia night on Tuesday nights. That's tonight. Tomorrow night, $1 wings, some of the best wings in West Central Illinois. Bone-in wings. You stop in and give them a try. You'll want to go back. $1 wings on Wednesday. And if you're a fan of the Red Ox Ugly Steak back in the day, they have ugly steaks of their own variety, and it's awful darn close to the Red Ox Ugly Steak on steak night on Thursday night. And they have all kinds of daily specials and weekly specials at Sports Corner at 124. That's 124 North Randolph in Macomb. Morgan Wilcox. Pendle through the block and down. That's the first kill for Hannah Pendle. She's had several attacks, had not had any kills until that one, and she gets the kill there. It's 19-17. Going back to serve is Elsie Moore. Trouble. Wilcox. Rigg sends a free ball across. Moore is there. Quick to Gunning. Van Beck couldn't go down and get it. Kennedy Gunning's got 15 kills now. And it's back to a 1-point game as Moore gets the service point. That's her first. Stevens tips it across. Dug by Bliss. Robinson to Wibble. Sends it deep. It's out of bounds. Side out. 20-18 Suns. Starks going back to serve. Outside, Wibble, bump set. Van Beck now to Stevens, going to push it right back across. Robinson is there. Bump set Artman. Bliss on the attack, and that one's long. Heads up, Keith Yex. Good hands there, young man. Starks gets the service point. That's her third. 21-18. Quick, dumped across. Van Beck goes down to get it. Here comes Rigg on the attack. A jousting match is dug up. Wibble sends it across. Rigg goes down to, no, that was Wilcox, excuse me, went down to get it, couldn't control it. It's going to be a side out, 21-19, and Bliss back to serve. Van Beck tracks it down. Stevens from the 10-foot line. Dug by Bliss. Outside, Artman. Off of Starks, and Artman gets another kill. It's 21-20. Artman coming to life a little bit now here in set 3. She's got 7 total kills. 4 of those were in set 1. 2 in set 2, 1 now in set 3. Stevens going to tip it across, and she'll get the kill. Kara Stevens gets her 20th kill, and Riley Hart back in. Van Beck is out. Stevens will set for 2 sets, 2 rotations now. Short and ace. Kara Stevens, her 7th point, first ace. It's 23-20 Suns. At Artman again. Nice pass. Wibble's going to have to send it across. Stevens is there. Hart to Griswold, and off the hand of Robinson. Kinsey Griswold, the senior, gets her 14th kill, and the Suns are 1 point away from coming all the way back and getting a 3-set victory over Illini West. Stevens to serve it up again. She served 2 straight, and a service error. It's 24-21. The first of 4 set points and match points have been fought off by Illini West. Frazier, who served into the net in her last service, is back to serve for the Chargers. 24-21. It's got to be 3 straight to keep the game alive. And that's going to drop in an ace right at the back line. And it's 22-24. Frazier gets her first service point, her first ace, and a timeout charge to Southeastern. Game being brought to you by MTC Communications. Having slow, unreliable internet just doesn't cut it in 2025. MTC Communications offers lightning fast, reliable fiber internet, video, phone service, and camera systems to the McDonough, Henderson, and Hancock County areas. Visit mtccrowdfiber.com to check your availability. So 24-22. Frazier got an ace in her last serve. She's got to get 2 more points. Kinsey Griswold, can a senior get the kill to end it? She will. Kinsey Griswold with her 15th kill of the night gets the 25th point of set number 3. And Southeastern gets a 20-25, 25-19, 25-22 win over Illini West in a classic. A good one down the stretch as Illini West battled back in set 3 after Southeastern kind of controlled set number 1. Crowd, the student section, and Coach Kerr and the players making a little noise here in front of us. We'll see if we can get the camera over there at all, as Peyton's doing his best. Not a whole lot to be seen from the angle we're at, but you can kind of see him standing up over there. A good group of kids brought to you, the senior class and all the players sitting right there with a little W signal from some of the youngsters from behind. Coach Kerr's back there, excited as well. A big win for Southeastern. This is one they wanted, and it sets them up ready to go in the postseason as they'll be at Rushville Industry next week for the regionals. We'll see if we can get Coach Kerr on here to talk a little bit. I don't know if we'll get any of the other players on or not. I'll give you some stats while we're waiting on Coach Kerr here. Sorry, I dropped my pencil, folks. Give me just a second. For Illini West, Olivia Frazier, 1 service point, including an ace. That was next to last one. Carson Bliss had 9 service points, including 2 aces and 5 kills. Natalie Wibble had 3 kills. Kennedy Gunning had 2 blocks and 15 kills. Kennedy Artman had 2 service points and 7 kills. Ava Shutwell had 5 service points. Anna Jacob had a block and 9 kills. Elsie Moore had 1 service point. Corin Robinson had 1 service point. And Hannah Pendle ended with 1 kill. For Southeastern, 1 block and 1 kill for Riley Hart. Morgan Wilcox had 3 service points. Jalen Van Beck had 6 service points. Kinsey Griswold had 4 service points, including an ace, 2 blocks and 15 kills. Adriana Starks had 3 service points. Tegan Rigg had 3 service points, including an ace and 1 kill. And Kara Stevens, 8 service points, including 1 ace and 20 kills. Coach, you won't be able to hear me on that, so leave an ear off. I apologize in advance. This set doesn't have a. It's loud in here tonight, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
That's a good thing. How about that student section? Good student section tonight, huh?
That's good. They were out in full force for sure for us.
Illini West brings that out in you guys, though. Even the students. This is a good rivalry, and really, you always want to win, and you did win tonight. But win or lose, this rivalry game is a good game to get you set up for the postseason.
Yeah, no question. Really a really special match tonight. I thought they played really well, and I thought we played really well. So it was good. Sometimes all the build up, and obviously this thing was. People had this thing circled on their calendar since the beginning of the year when we got them in our tournament, and I know they were looking for revenge big time. So they've had a good year, a solid year, and hopefully they'll do well in the postseason as well. But like you said, just really a good atmosphere tonight. We have our FFA night coming up here in a little bit, so we had a lot of kids here at a blackout for our theme. So it was nice. It's good to see a lot of young kids, a lot of young girls on my junior high team were here, and so it's nice to be able to have them see that and watch what a really good volleyball match looks like.
I was talking. I did West Central's game against United last night. Lily Higgins had 18 kills in a 3-set match. Kara Stevens, according to my stats, outdid that. Had her for 20.
Yeah, I was thinking about that in that 3rd set. Just how many. I was thinking about how many she'd racked up tonight because she really, obviously, just like all year, we gave it to Kinsey and we gave it to Kara, and they were workhorses again. So 20. If I would have guessed, I probably would have guessed more than that. So.
I could have missed one or two.
Sure.
But,
No.
But I had Kinsey. Kinsey had a night. Her and Kara both had nights. But Kinsey's 4 service points, including an ace, a couple blocks.
Yeah.
She had the only blocks. Well, Riley Hart had a block, but she was the bigger blocker, and she had 15 kills. Is what I had her for.
Kinsey really swung well tonight. I thought when she comes out and is motivated, she's really tough. You could just tell defensively she was on it. And she's so athletic and so quick and so. Just has good instincts. So being able to, watch her play that well on senior night. It was funny because that last time out, I said all we need is one ball. All we need is one. And I said you got one more in you, senior. And she just, if you got to know Kinsey, she's really dry and she's funny, but she's kind of dry like her dad is. But she's like, yeah, of course I got another in him. So I thought it was pretty cool that they served the ball to Adriana, the senior, and Kara set the other senior for the last point. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, and that was really fitting for the way this game went tonight. Adriana played pretty well for you guys tonight, too. I felt like she didn't do a whole lot. Riley Hart continues to get a little better for you guys all the time, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's doing a good job. Really, she had a really nice weekend last weekend, and I felt like, like you said, she had a good JV game, a nice JV win for us, and she's the go-to in the JV, and she comes out in the varsity and just kind of does what she can do. She's a really good, pretty good blocker and a really good second setter, and. She's doing a nice job for us, definitely.
You guys don't spread it around much. I had 2 people with 1 kill apiece besides those 2.
Right.
But I think everybody knows that, and you know that going in. That's kind of the way it's going to be, isn't it?
Yeah, this is really I was thinking about this weekend, and when we had we won that tournament down at Waverly, and just how, just prototypical, stars that get all the accolades and all the stats. Someone asked me, did Kinsey and Kara really have that good of a tournament because they made all-tournament team, or is that just everybody knows their name? But, as far as the counting stats on this team, it's going to be those two, and then Jalen gets a bunch of assists because she sets a bunch of balls to Kara. But, really having those – and I had a good talk with Tegan this morning too. She's kind of a little bit down. She found out she's got maybe a tear in her labrum in her shoulder, and so she's been struggling all year long with that. And I think she wants to be that. Like I told her, you want to be that the kid that hits the 3-run homer in softball. And right now, you're the second baseman that just makes every play, and you walk, you have a good on base percentage, and just the role players that we have right now. You look at Tegan and you look at Morgan. Morgan Wilcox, they just do such a great job out there, just so solid, and they're so important to our success. And talk about selfless kids. I mean, I'm sure they probably want the ball more, but you never know it. They never say anything, and they're happy for the girls that get the ball, and they understand to be successful as we want to be. It needs to be the way it is. So it's just a really nice, fluid environment and a really nice culture that they've got going on. And obviously we have reaped the benefits of that all season long. That was our 30th win of the season, and I would have lost a lot of money coming out of last year after losing Amanda. Someone told me we're going to win 30.
The last time we saw you on TSSR was when you lost to West Prairie.
Right.
And I think there was a lot of questions from people when West Prairie beat you, and there was questions about is Southeastern really as good as everybody thought?
Sure.
Is Kara Stevens really as good as everybody thought?
Right.
Can Kinsey really do enough to help Kara be good enough? I mean, there was questions floating around. I think you guys were coming off. That was your third night in a row. You just played Q&D, so you were a little worn out, and I think that showed in set 3, especially that night. But you guys responded in the next week, that weekend. You responded the next weekend.
Right.
And you guys have played really good volleyball since then. Sometimes a loss to a rival isn't all bad, is it?
It felt like the end of the world when we lost to that night. We came out and, Kenzie was just 2 games back from her nose surgery, so she wasn't what she is now. And we missed 6 serves in the first set, and we lost 27-25. And it was one of those things where you're exactly right. I mean, and I say all those things, however, above and beyond all those things, West Prairie took it to us that night. They played extremely well, and they deserved to win that game. They were excited, they were pumped, and they played almost flawlessly. So good for them. But like you said, it just kind of goes to show the veteran leadership that we have in this team, and just the ability to come back. And I think we've won 12 or 13 straight since then. So it was one of those things where we talk about the beginning of the year. We lost one to Liberty early, and every night in and night out we're going to get everybody's best, and we just can't take anyone for granted. And it's been a nice season. Our kids do a great job, and they have really responded well, as you said, and have played really well. Last night we again faced a really talented, but kind of maybe some people think kind of a struggling West Hancock team, but man, they were tough. We ended up being 28-26 the first set. So
the thing about West Hancock is maybe they don't win a ton of games, but they are so darned athletic.
Yeah, they are. They're so big, and there's sometimes I don't know if our style doesn't match up sometimes. But I think we serve a little bit not lackadaisical, but just serve a little bit soft and allow those teams like that to just kind of stick around and hang around. And man, they did a good job last night too. So we were sweating it last night, but it was nice to get rebound here, and you drop the first set here, and you got all those people here watching, and you got all the big crowd in the student section, and obviously being able to rebound and getting this one was really, really huge for us. Going into the postseason, and just a continuation of our good season, and hopefully we can rest a little bit and then get back on the horse again on Monday.
Well, speaking of that, rest a little bit right now, and are you ready? I mean, do you think you're in a place where you're ready? I mean, you work all year to get to this point, right? Do you think you've gotten to where you need to be?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're playing really well right now. Early on in the season, we kind of had, right there in the middle where we lost 2 or 3 in a row, or out of 4. We really were battling our serving. I really blame our inefficient serving on a couple of those losses. We had if you notice, Morgan Wilcox at the beginning of the year was jump serving, and she had just a terrible stretch where we lost a couple matches where we just couldn't throw the ball into the court. She has really really fix that. She's served really well right now. I don't think she missed any tonight, maybe one tonight, but I think being able to just put the ball in play and let our kids play defense and let our hitters hit, and it's been really a key for us. So I think that's something that we have corrected, and we really have worked on that. And I think that making fewer mistakes is really a key. You saw that in the JV game. We had no business winning that match tonight in the JV game, but our kids just know how to play the game and kind of minimize mistakes and make the other teams do that. So the varsity team kind of has a similar mentality and similar skill set, but at the same time we also have some thumpers too.
And I don't know if I may have missed one or two because I get talking, and I have you for 19 service points allowed in a 3-set match.
Yeah,
that's pretty darn good,
right,
really.
For sure, yeah, definitely. You look at
your serve receive is doing something right.
Right, definitely. That's what I was thinking. Especially in that first set, it was just point for point for point for point, and it was really a good night for our passers. We really didn't give up very many. You're right. We didn't get aced very many times at all. We've had a couple that we thought were going to go out that ended up being in, but for the most part, it was really, really solid for sure. And Jalen, we don't mention Jalen enough. Man, what a fantastic little energy she is.
She works so hard to get to every second ball.
She does. She does a really nice job and sets the ball well and knows where to put it. And I kind of made a comment to her the other day. She had a really, really nice kind of a rotation against Calhoun in the championship game last weekend, and she came off the floor, and I said, I probably shouldn't have said this on the air, but I said, you know what, you're just pretty darn good for a little run, aren't you? So she took it the right way, fortunately, but it was she does a great job, and she's been someone who since junior high, you look at her and she not very tall and doesn't look very athletic, but man, she is solid. She's got really good skills and nice hands, and does a fantastic job for us. And she's like I said, she put up some counting stats because she gets the ball to Kara, and she's going to be among the area leaders in set assists, I'm sure.
I would bet. So, Coach, I'll let you get out of here. You've got other people wanting to talk to you tonight, so
good.
Let you get out of here. Congratulations.
Right,
good luck this postseason.
Yep, as always, great job this season, and we really appreciate it.
Not a problem. We'll talk to you later. Well, that'll do it here from Southeastern senior night win. What was the score? I wrote it down somewhere. 20-25, 25-19, 25-22. Southeastern gets the win. That'll do it from Southeastern. You've been watching Adams Fiber coverage of Southeastern sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We got Bushnell on tomorrow night, and then it's Football Friday as we got some games coming up this weekend. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again very soon.